All right, guys, so the night routine that will make you rich. I just made a video on the morning routine that'll make you rich. So if you haven't watched that video, check the link above. But yeah, so I think everybody should have a night routine that goes hand in hand with their morning routine. So that way your whole day is productive. You're not wasting time. You're getting closer to your financial goals and you're just making some more money, right? Okay, so, and a lot of you might think that my morning routine or my night routine might start at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m., but it actually starts at 4 p.m. And the reason being is because the first thing I do for my night routine is I check the markets. I go over the markets. I get an overview to see what happened that day in the stock market, in the crypto market, maybe sometimes real estate, and just the financial news altogether. And the reason being why I do it at 4 p.m. is because that's typically when all the news has come out for the day. Sometimes you get it earlier in the morning, but typically at that point, all the earnings reports, Fed news has come out about interest rates and stuff. So it's a good time to get an overview of the market and kind of be ahead of everybody, right? Because most people at working a 9 to 5, they'll check it like at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And the thing about finance is what it's better for you to get information earlier, so that way you can make decisions earlier or faster than others, right? The people that tend to move on information quicker get that advantage, and they tend to get more opportunities. So yeah, the first thing I do for my night routine is get an overview of the market, and specifically for sectors that I'm invested in, right? So obviously I'm invested in the crypto sector, so that's something that's more interesting to me and but will pertain to my portfolio. But if you're a person that's in stocks, or if you're a person that's in crypto, if you're a person that's in real estate, then those sectors might be something that you look at. Now, this doesn't have to be an hour-long process where you do a whole analysis of stuff. 10 to 15 minutes just to see what's going on with the market, what's going on with any of the assets you own and things like that. So that way you keep up to date. Because a lot of people, they always ask like, oh, how do you know this information, or how do you get this information, and how do you keep up with the market? Well, you keep up with the market by keeping up with the market. You do it each and every day. You don't wait a week to get an update. You take 10 to 15 minutes out of your day, so that way you get an update each and every day and you're not behind on any of the news. So that's the first thing that I think you all should incorporate in your night routine. Get an update on the market. You could do this also with ChatGPT. Some of these AI bots make it a lot easier. Say, give me an update for the stock market, crypto market, real estate, and any key financial news, and it'll spit it out to you. So it's not something that's really hard to get. It's just people don't want to take the time to allocate 10 to 15 minutes to say, okay, what happened in the markets today? Because it's very important, especially when it comes to the assets we own, right? Pretty much all the assets we own are affected by the markets, the Fed cutting interest rates and things like that. So you need to keep up with that stuff. And I think if you do that, your finances will definitely get better, because it's going to help you make more informed decisions when it comes to investing, when it comes to picking out a stock, and so on and so forth, or whatever asset. All right, that's the first thing I do for my night routine. The second thing I do for my night routine is I go check my bank accounts, right? And it's just basically to keep up with my expenses, because for the most part, I get paid every 2 weeks, unless I made some type of trade or investment or something like that. But that's really not, I don't really trade. I hold for the long term. So it's really, I get paid every 2 weeks for my job, but it's more of the expenses that are coming out, right? The daily expenses that I'm spending. Am I keeping up with my budget? Am I on track to meet my budget? Because everybody has a budget. Even if you don't write it down and you don't give yourself a actual limit for the week, everybody has in their mind, okay, like $200 for the week, I can't really go over that, right? So you need to go ahead and check your bank accounts to see, okay, am I on track to meet that budget, that mental budget? And maybe you do write it down. Maybe that would be good for you too. But am I on track to hit the budget for the week? Am I going over? Why am I going over? Do you understand why you're going over? And is it justified? A lot of you don't keep up with the expenses that come out of your account, and you wonder why you're not able to invest because you don't have any money left over. And it's because you're not tracking your expenses. You're not seeing what's coming out each day. And two, also like unauthorized charges. That's another thing too. I remember I didn't really used to check my bank account each day. And I remember I left it for like a week, and then I went in and I saw a charge that I didn't spend. And, I had to dispute that. But if I didn't dispute that, it would have just stood on there, and I would have had to pay, it just would have went with one of my payments I paid every month for my credit card, and I would have never noticed it. So yeah, it's good to check your bank accounts each and every day. I know a lot of you like, I know what I spend. I don't need to check it each and every day, but it's just good to see what's being charged to your credit card or your bank account. You should be using a credit card. None of you should be using a debit card. See what, what's being charged there, how much is coming out. Also, two subscriptions, right? Subscriptions can increase in price, and sometimes they'll send you like like an email saying, hey, your subscription went up in price and things like that. If you don't agree with it, cancel by this time. You don't cancel, and then the subscription goes up in price, and you're paying a lot more. But if you're checking your account each and every day, you could see, okay, this subscription went up in price. Do I still want to keep it or do I not? So it's just good to check your bank accounts. One, to see the transactions that are coming through. And then two, to see, okay, am I on track to keep this budget? Right, I have $200 for the week. I'm already at 150. What's going on, right? Do I need to increase that budget? Do I need to stop spending? Is it justified? So I think that's the second thing everybody should be doing for their night routine. Going over their bank account statements. I know they have some apps out there that make it a lot easier. So maybe that's something you want to do. I know they charge a lot for those things, the ones that are like set up to your bank account, and it automatically gives you like a summary and things like that. But if you want to do that, you can do that. There's also free ones as well, but just check it. Again, this doesn't have to be an hour-long process too. 10 to 15 minutes. Check what's coming in and out of your bank account, and make sure you're in agreement with it, right? All right, so the third thing that I do for my night routine is I make a list of things that need to be done for the next day. And typically I like to make sure it's at least 5 productive things that I need to do for the next day, whether it's for my YouTube channel or for investments or just things to do around the house. Maybe I need to pay a bill or do something like that. But, I like to make sure it's at least 5 things, and they're productive, and they have to do with like some type of finances, or, maybe it's just structurally or something around the house. I think this is going to help you, be more productive, right? And be more accountable to the things you need to do, right? And specifically, I'm talking about things for making more money. So if you have a side business, a side hustle, again, for me, it's YouTube. So for me, I'm writing down video ideas and things like that. I'm saying, okay, I got to make a video today. I got to do a live stream. I got to do this. What's the idea for this? Put it on a piece of paper. So I like to put it on a piece of paper or my whiteboard, right? But writing it down, before I never used to write stuff down. I used to just keep it in my head and try to remember everything that I needed to do for the next day. And that really never worked, because I would always forget, and then things would be pushed out for weeks, months, and they never got done. So make sure you write your list of things you need to do for the next day, and make sure they're actually productive things, and come up with 5 things. Create 5 things. You all should have some type of side hustle, and you all should be working to build that and making that grow. So make sure you write 5 things. Okay, these are the things that non-negotiable need to get done today, right? And you check them off as soon as you get them done, and that's how you stay accountable and you get things done. But yeah, so make that list. I think that should be the third thing in your night routine. Obviously, I have other stuff, brushing teeth and stuff like that, but this is more about your finance night routine that's going to help you, better your finances, make more money, and get ahead. But yeah, so those are the 3 things. Let's go over them. The first one is an overview of the market, making sure you're checking up with the market specifically for the sectors you're invested in. 2, make sure you're checking your bank accounts, you're checking your budget after, at the end of the day. Again, 10 to 15 minutes, doesn't have to be that long. And 3, create a list of things that, are productive, that are going to help you get ahead in your business, help you get ahead financially each and every day, and make sure you check them off as soon as you get them done. But that's pretty much it. That's my night routine. Make sure you guys implement one. If you like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.